just saw Gigi out there training. Is he probable or out for Wednesday?
We'll see. You saw. I mean, he's just walking out right now, so I had to see how that went. I couldn't see the entire session. He looked good. He looked pretty good. So probably tomorrow we'll make another assessment, and if he's likely, probably from the bench, but we have to make a decision tomorrow.
And physically, how's the rest of the guys after playing Saturday and flying back and now having to fly again?
Yeah, their response is pretty good. We have a young roster. Pretty much we have a young roster. They recover pretty fast, but I have to be mindful of 3 games in 1 week, 2 away, so the travel, the heat that is now here in Atlanta. Now it's summer and now it's pretty bad. So I have to be mindful of that. So I give them almost another weekend to pretty much everyone except for 2 or 3 guys that want to work specifically on certain tactical individual things. So the group is fine, and I think we're going to have a very energetic group on Wednesday.
And 2 consecutive wins, 2 consecutive shutouts, 2 consecutive games, just 1 shot on goal. How do you keep this going against a very good attacking New England squad?
Well, same as when we conceded 6 goals or we conceded 4 away. Nothing is too bad in those moments. There are many positives in those situations. Same now, like not everything is perfect. There are still things that we can improve. Of course, the tendency of the back 5 and how we're defending, and double pivot, 3 in the middle, in the lower block, it may have a weak point at some point, so we need to understand that and understand the roles and why those weak points can happen, and so then we try to prevent that. So it's just about being cautious on the moment. Yes, having confidence in our style, our game, our mentality, but not being overconfident. So that's the right balance to promote confidence, understanding the roles, understanding why we're playing in this way, and then don't be like, oh yeah, maybe now I don't have to sprint back, now I don't have to run, I don't have to block the crosses. No, we have to continue with that, but maybe polish a couple little details, and we're going to be fine.
Is it simpler tactics? Does that maybe help the guys and help them eliminate some of the individual mistakes that were resulting in goals in previous games?
Probably it was confidence. Having an extra man, as I told you before, gives you more confidence on what you're doing. Probably more confidence to the wing backs to step up and going outside in the channels and really affect the cross because you have an extra man in behind, right? So maybe that, but I told you this, like the mentality of the team is the pivotal part. Like when I see, we're reviewing this morning a couple of clips, and one is very good defending by the back 5, by the midfielders, but then the second ball came to Thiago sprinting back and just chasing a 6 on the flank and regaining the ball, and from there progressing into a counter-attack. So that is priceless. That is not a tactic. That is the heart that the players are putting on the field. Same with Miguel. So the attackers, they tend to take liberties at times, and they haven't. So that's part of what I'm telling you. That mentality is the main part of the improvement. Is that not just the back 5.
Now that you've gotten to see Tristan, now that he's here, have you gotten to see him train and individually? I know. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, we have to see him with the whole squad, and he looks good. He seems to be a very nice guy, very approachable, very humble. And his English is pretty good. So I think he's going to have a very good integration with the team. So we are very happy on him being here, and now looking forward to the next steps to make him available.
How's your French?
Very bad. Very bad. Yeah.
What do you think of Santiago on Saturday?
Pretty good. Again, the same question was asked right after the game, and I said I don't want to highlight one over the others because I think it was a very complete and mature performance by everyone, pretty much everyone, including the subs, including Ossi, Ajani, Matchup. All of them did great, and Rossetto too. I'm sorry. So Santi specifically, of course, it was very good because it was a long time since he didn't play. Actually, he had an injury in the ankle that put him outside of the field quite a bit. So it was impressive the way he was reading the game, the way he was progressing the ball forward. That I think it was the best game so far for him in the year, on how he was receiving in tough angles and then progressing the ball forward quickly, the long switches that he can do, and then the defensive aspects of certain key tackles that he put in, especially in the second half, a couple 50-50 challenges that he wins. And when you win that battle on the ball and off the ball in the midfield, I think is pivotal for the success of any team. So I think the shift that Santi had this game was amazing, and I'm just looking forward to how he recovers and if he can repeat that on Wednesday.
Does the back three in any way allow for a little more space for him to operate and build up?
Maybe it changes his role, because in the past when we were playing with back four, one of the best things Santi can do is to drop in between the center backs, and from there he can distribute the game, and it's very easy for him because he's very technical with those passes with no pressure in front of him. He can distribute the game very well. But with this one, of course, that role is for Purata, and now Purata is kind of the guy in charge of the puppet, and he's managing everyone who's pressing, where are the gaps and that. So his role is more stay central and be the outlet for those term passes, and we kind of leave the center backs to take the control of the build-up, breaking the first line of pressure. After that, his role is receiving the balls from fullbacks, from center backs, and how we can progress the ball forward into the attacking midfielders or the long switches. And I think it's just he's understanding very well that role and adapting to the double pivot, which might be also new for him, and he did very well. So again, looking forward to the progression on his understanding.
5-3-2 defensive setup for the most part. Is that right?
Yeah, depends of the opponent. I mean, the last game we tried something in the first half, something more like a 5-2-1-2 with Miguel dropping with Wanyama, and then Thiago and Tyler more on the outside center backs. But the pass from Camacho was killing us. He was finding the passing lanes for the nines, and that was killing us. So at halftime we adjust. I mean, credit to the players, they did exactly what we asked for. But Camacho was very good, and the movement of the attacking midfielders were taking away Amar or Santi. So then those passing lanes for the nines were open. So what we did was shifting to a back three, to a three midfield. So it was more Amar, Santi, and then Tyler, and then Thiago kind of with Wanyama. And then from there we start the pressure, and we let the outside centre backs to take a bit more control. But from there, Thiago can press or Miguel can press, and we look more solid. So then the only space was available was more on the outside. Our wingbacks did a good job at compressing the space. So that was the tactical solution of it. And I think the second half was better. Now it depends on the opponent we are facing. Next is a back four. As you know, New England, even though they do a kind of a back three with Spalding, the center back, and then the other center back, and then Brandon Bai is quite high as a wing back with Boateng. So it seems at times similar to a back three, but not really. The center backs are too expansive. So of course, Carles Gil with that free role in midfield, the two nines, Gustavo Bo. That is very, very good player, and then Bobby Wood. Brioni can play there as well, so they have kind of three on top, two wing backs, and then two midfielders with those back three that I explained. So we are already analyzing that and what's the best shape for us defensively against them. But eventually, of course, we want to be in control of the game, and that's the other way we can defend, is having possession, being good in the build-up, disrupting them, having longer possession sequences. 20 passes is good because they're at home, they're going to get desperate. So again, looking forward to that game is going to be very interesting. They are a team that I have a lot of respect for. Very good coach. Again, I always say this about Bruce. Very good coach, and the players they have are very good. So it's a big, big challenge for us.
Gonzalo, you talked a second ago about not getting too confident, but as you were saying earlier, just not giving up just one shot on goal the last couple of games. Does that sort of give something other than confidence to the team, or is it more of just like you were saying, sort of that, don't get too high, don't get too low sort of deal?
For me, it gives us kind of the understanding that we're heading in the right direction. So now is more like, okay, how we can progress into not just 2 shutouts but 3. Okay, that's a challenge because you have to find ways to continue challenging the team. If you are in the comfort zone, everything is good, guys, like good job, let's just have another show. You don't challenge them. So now the challenge is, okay, we did very good in 2 games, one at home, one away. Can we do the same a third time against a team that offers different challenges? And as I said, one of the best attacking midfielders nowadays is Carles Hill. Can we shut him down? Can we block all his shots? Can we limit all the danger he can do in central areas? And of course, the players around Boateng, very good crosser on the left. Brandon Bai, very skillful player on the right. The 2 nines are very, very dangerous. They can find pockets inside the box. So again, can we do it again? And that's a challenge. And the nuances of the different tactics, we're going to understand that. But it's more the mental aspect of the challenge for the team. Let's repeat it, guys, one more time.
With 3 center backs, we've talked a lot about the defensive side. What has it opened up in the attack, especially with the wing backs?
It's a great question. I really like the build-up with 3. I think most of the time gives you a better spacing because you always have a sweeper, you always have a diagonal pass backwards that can open up some lateral passes, center back that they're risky, but can be open at times. That also offers more angles to the center mids in the double pivot to have always certain diamonds in certain areas. So center back, the center mid on the side, the attacking midfielder, the wing back, they can create kind of a diamond, double diamond, 2 diamonds in the middle as well. So a couple of rotations with the midfielders and you get the back 3 plus a 6. So it gives you a lot of opportunities to build properly. And I think it's more clear, more secure because also you are not that expanded as with the 2 center backs opening up width of the 18 and then any transition moment in between center back fullbacks, any transition moment in between center backs is quite open. So with this you keep it kind of tight. So I think in terms of the build-up offers a lot of good passing lanes and options. So, it's just a matter of how you do in that phase. We were doing at the beginning of the year with the back 4, the same back 3 with Andrew, Purata and Miles, and then we pushed Caleb higher and then Brooks higher. So it was similar shape, it's just different personnel.
You said, I think last week or maybe 2 games ago that Abram is the type of guy that needs just some consistent starts to kind of find his groove. Now that he's gotten 2 in a row, what are you seeing from him and how much better can he be?
Yes, I think if someone impressed me in the last game was Abram. I think his understanding on how to absorb pressure, when to be aggressive, when to go on the ground, when to do just slow down, when to step up and win the duels. The build-up is very clean with him. He not just make a clearance, if he can connect a short pass, he do it, and from there we can have a counter or a possession sequence. So it's very technically very sound, tactically understands the situations, but I feel like now he understands way better the MLS and how this operates, what type of number 9s he's facing, what type of attacking midfielders in that pockets are going to be open. And I think his understanding of the situations, especially in MLS, was way better. So, again, very happy for that because that gives us now another probabilities to our back 5, back 4. It's just more competition because now he feels to be like a very good center back for us.
And last one for me, have you and Carlos have you expressed a desire to keep Purata when his loan expires here?
Yeah, well, I think Carlos is the right person to talk about that. I can tell you, yes, we have communication every day about different things, and we spoke, of course, about Purata, but I prefer Carlos to talk about those things. Okay? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.